dating app marketing, everyone's favorite activity. Everyone's easy to do. It's just, it just makes your day, doesn't it? There's just no real complexities involved, no expenses. It's probably the easiest method. If you can't tell I'm being sarcastic. Now, let's go over the two different main methods. There are other methods. You can use BlueStacks and anti-detect web browser and that, but these are probably the two methods that I'd say do the most damage. If you've seen the other videos, any of my other videos, I heavily push iPhones because I reckon less steps is better, and we seem to get a longer account lifespan from iPhones, and I suspect that's due to the minimal steps involved. My assumption is that the more steps that are involved, the more chances that an app can flag an account. Because you have to assume these apps, particularly Tinder, know everything. You just have to assume they know everything. The more they get updated, the more information they know. Like if you see the lists of what these apps collect from us, it is insane. So personally, I just think the less steps, the less holes in the bucket. Whereas App Cloner, even though I've spoken of this method in a condescending manner in the past in other videos, it's actually still viable, obviously. I just reckon more steps, more holes in the bucket, more possibilities for an app to detect a problem or an anomaly. And ever since we started doing iPhones, our accounts have been lasting so long that some cities for our girls are actually running out of matches because they've just been active for so long. It's actually surprising myself. Um, if you are a member of Empire, you've seen my other videos, you'll know that we do a kind of unorthodox marketing method because we're not one to follow the herd. So if you follow the herd, you just get the same problems that the rest of the herd gets. Anyway, enough of that. So I'll just go over the differences. I'll try and go over the differences in a non-biased manner, just to give you, if you haven't done either, some information. Hey, I'm Bjorn Olsen from yourofempire.com and the Empire Forums, owner of the OnlyFans Empire, an OnlyFans management agency managing girls in the top 1% from all over the world, completely remotely, hence different hotel rooms and pets and all my different videos. Check us out at yourofempire.com or at yourofempire on all major social media platforms. But for now, let's get back to the video. All right, so the first thing you'll be confronted with for either method is the cost, all right? Now, for the iPhone method, you're going to need 7 or higher. Why 7 or higher? Because any lower than that, and it's not compatible with the apps, particularly Tinder and Bumble. Now, I would actually say 8. We only buy iPhone 8 or higher because iPhone 7 is no longer getting iOS support. So while it still supports Tinder, Bumble, eventually it won't. So I like to think ahead and we like to just purchase iPhone 8s, but you can get a 7 if you like. Now the cost, I do everything in AUD, in Australian time. Australia, that's where home base is. I like to travel around, but Australia is where the heart is. Home is? Home is where the heart is. Either or. Anyway, about 170 for an iPhone 8. Now, App Cloner varies. If you've been on the App Cloner website, you'll know there's a variety of different tiers. It actually has a lot of tiers. It actually looks really convoluted. But hey, they create a good product, so they can be convoluted if they like. So it's done through donations, and depending on the amounts donated to the devs, that dictates the number of features you get to unlock with that cloner. Now, if you want to run a successful dating app farm with that cloner, you're going to need the Ultra Plus tier, which is about $2,000. But here's the catch. One account can be created on one iPhone. Now, I say one of each account because one iPhone device can obviously have one Tinder account, one Bumble account, one Hinge, one OkCupid, one Yuppie. I don't know, we don't do it. I just heard of, I don't know, apparently it's like gamers and stuff anyway. Yubo? I don't know, there's probably all of them. So an iPhone device can have one of each. Now with that cloner, you use one device and you can have an unlimited number of accounts. So that's the big difference. So I see why people go, okay, cloner is probably, more upfront, but then we can create unlimited accounts. Now I'm gonna go over why that doesn't mean better. So yes, so one iPhone, $170, create one account on each. So we'll say 3. That's all we do. We normally have one Tinder, one Bumble, and then one random. We play around with the third one, whether it's Hinge or OkCupid. We normally play around with the third one, but it's always one Tinder, one Bumble. And app clone, you can create unlimited. So then you work that out, 2K for unlimited or 170 for one of each. So it's kind of, see what I mean? It's kind of like apples and oranges. Now, I was meant to replace this before I started the video, but oh well, fuck it. So by device ID, I meant steps needed to take when an account gets banned. So steps banned, or cycle, so steps banned. This is actually meant to be steps needed to take when an account gets banned. Now, if an account gets banned on an iPhone, you need to reboot the iPhone. You need a new email. You need a new SIM/number. They go hand in hand. SIM/number/IP. They're all tied up in the same thing. And you need a new batch of photos. Now, if an account gets banned with App Cloner, if a cloned app gets banned, you just simply delete the clone. You get a new email. Then you get a new or change the mobile proxy. Then you just need an SMS verification service number. No real biggie. And new photos. No biggie. Some might say it's probably easy with App Cloner. You just delete the clone, do it again. Actually, it is easier. Now, here's some differences again. So for internet access / the IP, you'll just need that one SIM card for the iPhone, which over here in Australia is about $12 a week. Yeah, it'll be a bit less if you pay by the month. We tend to pay by the week. Actually, we should start paying by the month because we started paying by the week because accounts were very, unpredictable. So I didn't like the idea of paying for a full month with an account that might not last the full month. But now that we've pretty much dialed in our method, we could probably start purchasing by the month. So by the month, you could probably about 35. That's in Australia. That's for Telstra SIM cards. Obviously, US, other places differ. Might be more expensive. Full comprehensive list on Empire. But anyway, now for each, this is where it gets different again. For each cloned app, you need one mobile proxy. So one mobile proxy. Now for each mobile proxy, it's going to run you about $50 a week. See what I mean? The prices get a little different. This is really like apples and oranges here. You can't really compare them both because they've both got their pros and cons. So that's another thing that kind of put me off a little bit. It's like, oh, 50 a week for mobile proxy. Ugh, $12 a week sounds a lot better. So for each cloned app, you need one mobile proxy because if you are already familiar or you've seen my other videos, you'll know that you cannot run more than one account on the same IP address, nor can you have more than one account on the same email or the same number or using the same photos. So mobile proxy /IP is the same. You need one per account. So that means it's going to cost you about $50 a week per cloned app. Now, in terms of location, that's simple. iPhone, you simply spoof using different services. The one we use is 3U Tools software on a PC. You just hook the iPhone up, spoof location, no biggie. Now to spoof a cloned app, you spoof it within the clone app configuration. So in the cloned app settings, you just simply, you can configure the location in that. Now, what you want to do is you want to match the location with the proxy. By this, you simply just enter the proxy address into a website like What's My IP or something like that. You find the coordinates of the location, and then you'll just simply copy them and paste them into the proxy settings within, or the SOC settings within the app cloner. I'm getting off topic here. I'm starting to explain how to do app cloner. Point is, pretty simple as well. You just spoof the location within the app clone configuration, and you just make sure it matches up with the proxy. Now, to automate. This is another reason that made me go, I'd rather iPhones. Because to automate the swiping on Tinder or Bumble on iPhones, you can use the switch control function that is built into iOS. I made a whole nother video on it. What it is you're essentially doing gestures. So you'll be, like you'll be doing swipes, doing taps and stuff on the screen. Switch control, well, I just hit the mark. Switch control will record it, and then you can open up Bumble or Tinder or whatever, hit play, and it'll just keep doing that and repeat as many times as you like. Now you obviously do that in a specific manner, so it looks maximum human. So you go, swipe left a couple of times, swipe right. Point is, you can automate it within the iPhone using the built-in iOS feature. Now to automate on Cloner, this is where it gets a little dicey, and this is where it gets a little, can't really be bothered. Now, because you're going to need to automate, because you have so many different accounts on one device, on one Android device, it's a little hard to just automate one account at a time, because obviously there's apps like ClickMate. We can essentially do what I just described with switch control. But if you have like 20 accounts on one Android device or more, obviously, or more, it's going to take a little while to open up one account, run the ClickMate, do the swipes, close it, open up another account, open up another cloned app, open ClickMate, do the swipe. It's going to take a while, all right? So the only way to automate it is essentially to move the account to an anti-detect browser. Now, what I mean by that is opening a browser within Dolphin Anti or Incogniton using the same proxy that you use to create the cloned app. And then you're going to log in to the Tinder or Bumble account, because then you can run automation software like autoswiper.ch or another tool like that, which essentially creates an overlay and it'll just do its thing. I don't know if I explained that right. It's pretty technical, so it gets a little dicey. Now, if you, in the process of moving a app cloner accounts to an anti-detect web browser, you can log into it using, log into Tinder on the same proxy, and then you could switch the proxy up once it's already logged in to a static residential proxy, but it has to be high quality. Now, what this will do is minimize your costs, because static residential proxies are a lot less. They're probably about $4 a month. So that's all possible. But have you taken note of how many steps are involved? Look, I even started to lose my track there. I started to get a little confused because there are a lot of steps involved. So that is what I mean. That is what I mean by we opted to use iPhones because there's a lot less steps involved and a lot less holes in the bucket for an app to detect fraudulent behavior or anomalies. So while the app cloner method is definitely viable, there's a lot more steps involved. Now, the other thing why we opted for iPhones was that you have to expect accounts to get banned. Now, when you're running a dating app farm, you are creating accounts at scale, and there's always going to be some getting banned. So you be creating new ones, some getting banned, blah, 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 blah. So it's just a constant cycle of creating more accounts, really. Well, it is with App Cloner. With iPhones, you get a longer lifespan, so you can kind of just, have them sitting there for a while, but that will eventually get banned, no doubt about that. So what I'm saying is that if accounts are destined to get banned eventually, you also want a simpler process to recreate them, because it's a pain in the ass as it is. So if you have a convoluted, complex process for creating a new account, then each time one gets banned, you're just going to want to, yourself. I don't know if I can say it on YouTube. But if it's a simple process, you can be like, I got banned, no worries. I'll just reset the phone, make a new number, get a new SIM card, no big deal. Where if it's App Cloner, it's kind of like you got to do this, you got to create it with an App Cloner, then you got to switch to the anti-detect with the mobile proxy, then switch the proxy, then do the blah, 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 and then you got to pay for the mobile proxy, and you got to pay a lot of steps. Anyway, I'm just want to give you an understanding of why I think that iPhones are better, less steps. Now, before I wrap this up, I know. It just gets me. 650 members, holy shit. Getting better by the day. Now, look. As I said at the start of the video, I can't remember if it was the start of this video or one I made before, because I made a couple because I fucked up a couple of times. Anyway, I said that, what did I say? Yes, that's right. I said dating apps are pretty much the holy grail of OnlyFans, because the other methods are somewhat a lot easier to do. So dating apps have so many problems, I consider it the holy grail because it produces the most fruit. So with that, I decided I used to have a getting subsection. And in here, you got Instagram, Twitter, blah, blah, all very viable options. And we had dating apps. And I thought, you know what? Let's make a whole fucking section. Creating accounts, how to verify, funneling bio methods, proxies, SIM, anti-detects, all that good stuff. iPhone methods I just mentioned, app cloner methods, other methods, BlueStacks, etc., etc., etc. And then you got the automation tools and that, along with chatting scripts and it's just even a framework, even a framework. Now you say to me, you come to my house on the day of my daughter's wedding and you say to me, $200 is so expensive. And I say, that's cool. Go pay $2,000 for a chatting course. Go pay $2,000 to know how to do TikTok properly. That's cool. We'll just be sitting here knowing how to do everything, constantly getting updated. And I accidentally created the best motherfucking course in the world. I created a forum because I was like, courses, they get outdated and stuff. And then I came up with this brilliant idea. Let's create a step-by-step framework that has a link to each relevant section on the Empire forums, which means I can update the section on the Empire forums as methods change and evolve. And the framework will stay the same, which means this course, which pretty much course, I guess, it's just forever updating. I did it. Accidentally did it. And you come to me and you say, $200 is so expensive. That's cool. Stay at Macca's, stay at Walmart. That's fine. Keep watching YouTube videos thinking that you're in motion, but you're not actually taking any action. That's cool. No worries at all. But anyway, that's enough of that. So if you like the video, go smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and I'll see you on the Empire Forums.